Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this underwater modern house. If you enjoy this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me and the channel out very much. And if you do manage to make it all the way to the end, share the video with a friend. Sharing is caring. Without any further ado, let's get started. So on the screen right now is a list of materials that you are going to require to make the underwater house. Please make sure that you have all of those materials and enough of those materials as well. You should be able to see how much you will actually need also. And once you have all of the stuff, I can tell you that the house itself only requires about a 21 block by a 15 block area underwater to make, so it's really not too bad. So pause the video if necessary, make sure that you have everything you need, make sure you have enough space. I'd highly recommend getting a conduit, by the way, if you don't have one already. If not, this is going to be a lot less fun for you. However, once you do have all that sorted out, we can begin. To start off with, if you have made this grid in your world, you want to start on the front left hand corner of it. Count right by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then inwards by 1, 2, 3. And this is going to be the starting position for us. Place a white concrete, and then 2 behind. 1, 2. Then place a grey concrete, and extend that grey concrete left by 3. 1, 2, 3. And then place 2 back left grey concretes. 1, 2. Go up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place 2 grey concretes back and right. Go right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 more grey concretes back forwards and right. Down by 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then place 2 forward left grey concretes. That should connect you all the way back to where you first started. And this kinda looks like a monocle. If we filled this in with glass, that's exactly what that would look like. Anyway, we want to take all of this grey concrete and we want to add 4 more rows on top. 1, 2, 3, 4. So absolutely everywhere on top of the grey circle that you have inadvertently created, the monocle, as it is now known, wants to be raised up until we have had 4 more layers of grey concrete directly on top of it. As easy as that. The next step is going to be for us to place white stained glass block completely above and on the top of the circle that we have created. So we want to just completely fill in the top of the shape in with glass, and the glass also so happens wants to be 1 row above it. That's pretty much all there is to it. Like that. Now the next step is quite simple. We want to place grey concrete above and outside of the glass, and it can connect together in the corners. So in some places it will actually overlap the glass. However, it looks quite good from the inside and from the top, as you will be seeing this from the top quite often. This gives a bit of a better shape than to kind of have just the diagonals in place. But what you're looking for should look exactly like that, and that is what I would refer to as the monocle complete. Now, once you have completed the monocle, I want you to start from the very first block that we placed, and I'm sure that you guys might be able to remember it's this glass, this very first white concrete that we have here. And on top of it, we want to place 2 white stained glass block. 1, 2. and then place yourself a white concrete. And then we want to go right of this by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we want to go backwards by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then connect to the circle, like this. So this is the kind of funky shape that we have now. Well, what we can do here is we can connect the corners down to the ground, meaning this corner here on the front right, and the corner on the back right as well. Those can all be connected down to the ground like that. Now, once you have done that, we can also connect this top corner on the left back towards the monocle as well. And I'm actually going to fill the top of this in using glass. So white glass is what we are going to use. We don't want to leave this exposed as, well, as you can see, various sea creatures may find their way into the house, which is not good. They're very intrusive. Grab the oak wood slabs. I want you to place a layer of oak wood slabs around the top of the circular part of the house, covering up the glass area and kind of just giving a bit of a barrier to the rest of the house. That's completely aesthetic. It doesn't really do much other than look good, in my opinion. Okay, next thing we want to do is we want to add some more white concrete. We're going to take the corners, meaning this corner, this top right corner, and that back corner too, and we're going to extend them across by 5 using white concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then as a shortcut, you can extend this 5th block backwards and connect it to where we would have anyway. And then connect these blocks down to the ground, these corner blocks. In doing this, we're kind of making some cool separations inside of the house, making it easier to make rooms and stuff. Next, I want you to place a layer of oak wood slabs above and around the inside of the shape that we have just created. This creates kind of like an interesting design, as once we have finished adding a rectangle of oak slabs, I want you to fill it in using oak trapdoors. So from the inside, you kind of have access to the water, and you can even see it. You can flip the trapdoors open and close, no problem, and it actually looks really, really cool. So once you have done those things, we can move on to the next bit. So I want you to use grey concrete, and I want you to, beginning from this specific position here on the front of the house, it should be quite easy to find, place a grey concrete here and extend this grey concrete around the outside of the right side and the back of the house, finishing in the equivalent position on the back. So you can kind of see here like how it just skirts around the house and it finishes literally the exact same place. Well, what I then want you to do is I want you to place a layer of white stained glass around that grey concrete, except the glass row just wants to be 1 row short on both the front and the back, like it doesn't want to come all the way to the end. And the reason for that is I now want you to place grey concrete all the way around that glass, like this. So you can see that we're kind of putting a nice little bit of a frame on it. I can't go too high without popping out of the water, but you can kind of see what we've got going on here. The next thing that we're going to do, it's very, very simple indeed, is we are going to connect the corners of the grey concrete down to the ground, and we're also going to connect it together as well. So if you just extend one corner down towards the ground, and then extend it all the way around wherever you have to, then raise up the corners, then you will be just fine. So like you'll have this, and then you'll want to connect it up and down in each one of the corners. You may choose not to extend the corners up and down, however I find it looks a little bit better. And we're going to add some white stained glass pane in between the 2 rows of parallel grey concrete. This is of course going to stop any water getting in and out of the house. like that. Whilst on the back of the house, I'm going to recommend that you fill in this gap here. First, by placing a row of white concrete at the bottom, connecting to the right, and then simply add some glass to it. Pane or block, it really doesn't matter, to be honest with you. Now, once you have got all of that sorted out, ladies and gentlemen, we have done a large amount of the structure of the house. The only thing that we have to do, structure-wise, is that we just have to do the entrance. Now, on the entrance, I want you to, first of all, it'll be easier if we do it this way around. Connect this white concrete over to the right, like that. Now, in front of this bottom, very first white concrete that we placed, I want you to place 2 oak planks. 1, 2, coming up from the ground. Place a sideways oak wood stair on top of that. Upside down oak wood stair to the right. Oak wood slab on top. Extend right. Upside down oak wood stair underneath that. Sideways stair to the right. And then oak wood planks connecting down to the ground. We're going to quickly knock out these white concretes, and also we're just going to destroy between the 2 white concretes as well, and we're going to place a block in there that we're happy with. So white concrete, some oak wood planks, something like that really. And the reason for this is because we now want to come inside, and we want to basically seal up this area using glass, and that also means above the doors, because once you have sealed up the glass area, you'll see that there's no more gaps, except for where we're going to be placing these doors, which are here. And then you will find that from that point, the house, whoops, that's my conduit, you will find that the house is completely watertight, which is perfect. So either way, it's completely up to you how you want to tackle it from here. As if you come inside, nice little fish, you're in here now with me. Inside, you can either keep it underwater, if you like. You can keep it all nice and underwater from the use of conduits and stuff. You know, it's not too bad. However, if you are going to actually leach out all of the water, you're going to need 2 things. Number 1, a sponge. Number 2, lighting in whatever form you want. And, oh! We have a hole in the house. That's an important thing to do. Make sure to check wherever you have holes now, you're going to want to place glass block. Like if you were to find holes on the back of the house at all, glass block is your friend. And don't forget to clear out the area inside of the circle as well. So inside here, this also wants to be completely sponged out. And this is pretty much what you want to do. You want to go around your house. Unfortunately, you will murder the fish. You will become a fish murderer. I'm very sorry, but it has to happen. Feel free to get them out first if you like, and in doing that, if you are using a conduit, this is why we have the lighting, because without the conduit, no magical water powers. No magical water powers means you can no longer see underwater pretty much, which is exactly why I've got the sea lanterns and stuff. But it is quite a process. If you're not going to use this method, I don't know what you're going to be doing to get out all the water, but it is not going to be pleasant, trust me. But now you can see that we've pretty much cleared out all the water. Wherever you like, you can pretty much place sea lanterns. That's kind of why I kept these structural pillars. They're kind of a good place to put them. I like to build them into walls also as well, like this. And I mean, even as a lesser extent, you know, you can build them into walls like here and maybe even here, you know, make it all nice and bright. And then you would obviously clear out the sponge, and then you can do what you want to the rest of the inside the house. And this is what you should be left with, ladies and gentlemen. This is the underwater modern house complete. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the actual block for block part of this tutorial complete. So if you want some interior tips, I am willing to show you the original version of this base. So the original version of this base has no water inside of it, although I'm pretty sure you could get away with actually having water inside of your base and with the use of the conduit. But this is kind of what I've got going on here. You know, we've got some chests hanging around, we've got some furnaces. I've pretty much split the house into 3 sections. Number 1, this is kind of a hallway that kind of splits up the little farm area, which I have inside of the circle. Equally could be turned into a bedroom or a study or an enchanting area or a crafting area. Or what I've kind of done is I have my farm area, my hallway, and then on the right here is kind of where I have all of my crafting bits and bobs and my enchantment library and some beds and some brewing area. And I actually have a nice little hidden away, if you come all the way to the end here, guarded, heavily guarded, by the drowned, little baby one, is an end chest as well. So if you kind of want to have a little Easter egg hidden away inside your own house, which I like to do because I find it very, very fun to do so, you know, those are some interior tips for you. I hope that you enjoy them. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really does help me and the channel out very, very much. And if you made it all the way to the end, please share the video with a friend. Sharing is caring. Isn't that right, little drowned guy? Absolutely, he says, probably. I can't make out what he's saying. It kind of sounds like anyway. If you do want to make any more of my builds that are coming up in the future, please subscribe and click the little bell next to the subscription button. That'll always ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. And if you would like to see anything else that I've already made, then check out the card system and the description below. And that is where you're going to want to find all my modern houses, all my hidden bases, and all fun stuff like that. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate you. Little Mr. Drown does as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!